What would happen to your loved ones if something happened to you today? Life insurance. It's a topic that we usually push to the back of our minds, but is it really something that we can afford to ignore? In today's world, financial security is more important than ever, and having a life insurance policy plays a vital and crucial role in making sure that our families are taken care of if something were to happen to us. So the questions are out there. Do I really need life insurance? Is it just another unnecessary expense? Or is it a vital part of our financial plan? There's a lot of misconceptions out there about life insurance, and it's time to set the record straight. One of the biggest misconceptions is that life insurance is only for older people or those with families. The truth is, life insurance can benefit anyone at any age and based on any family status. Another misconception is that life insurance is too expensive. Another misconception is that life insurance is just for funeral expenses, whereas life insurance actually covers also living expenses, such as paying off debt and leaves a legacy for your loved ones who are left behind. Then there's the idea that we're invincible, that nothing's going to happen to me, so I don't need life insurance. Well, the harsh reality is accidents happen, and they can happen anywhere, any place, and at any time. And so life insurance provides a safety net in those times if and or when they were to happen. There are two types of life insurance. One is term life insurance, and the other is whole life insurance. With term life insurance, you're looking at just that. It's a term, a period of time, which normally runs 10, 20, 30 years and is more affordable. Whereas whole life is a policy that combines a death benefit along with a savings component. That savings component being the cash surrender value. That's automatically builds up with that policy as you have it throughout your entire life. I will say that with a whole life insurance policy, it's more expensive because you are paying for not just the death benefit, but the savings component as well. And also, a critical thing to remember or to realize is with a whole life insurance policy, even though the face value may be $100,000, let's say you had $10,000 saved in that life insurance policy through the cash value. It's important to know that if you were to pass away, all the policy would pay is just the face amount. That $10,000 that's saved would not be paid to the family. Where does it go? It goes back to the insurance company. So that's something critical to understand about whole life insurance. I recommend term life insurance. Number one, because it's more affordable. And number two, eventually you won't need it after a certain amount of time because your investments would be able to take over what your term policy is covering for you. Meaning that when you have a term policy, what should be happening as you have taken out that policy is that you're also working your financial plan toward financial security, which means living on a zero-based budget that works, creating and living on a budget that works, also paying off your debt, all your debt, your consumer debt in particular. Also means saving for emergencies, saving for purchases, and saving for your retirement, which includes that investment that would have grown in 10, 20, 30 years based on compound interest to the point that you would not need your term policy because your investments have taken over the coverage for that as well. Also, I recommend that when you're taking out a term policy that you're taking out 10 to 12 times your annual salary. 10 to 12 times your annual salary. So that ensures that when you're gone, your policy covers the amount and even more that your annual wages were covering. So what that looks like if you are making $50,000 a year, then you would need to take out a $500,000 policy. If you're making $100,000 a year, then you would need to take out $1 million policy. Again, 10 to 12 times. So in this case, $1 million or up to $1.2 million. in coverage for your term policy. Also, if you have a stay-at-home spouse, that spouse also needs to take out a term policy, because in the event of their transition, or them passing on or dying, you would need to have money to cover things like child care expenses, things of that nature. So consider the fact that if you're married, both members of the couple, whether they're working or not, need to have a term policy. Now, if a person's not working and they're stay at home, a recommended amount for them would be $250,000 to $400,000 in a term policy to cover, again, their loss, because even though they're not working in the corporate field, they are working at home, and their loss will be greatly felt. To let you know how important a life insurance policy is, I want to share two stories with you, two different scenarios. I knew of a woman who was a stay-at-home wife, and her husband had a policy. He worked and brought home the income for the family, but he passed away. After sickness, he passed away, and the thing is, because of his policy, because he had a policy in place, she was able to, with the money that was left behind through the policy, pay off the mortgage. She was able to pay off any debt they had. And 14 years later, from the point of him passing away, she's still able to live comfortably, because he thought enough to take out a life insurance policy to sustain his loved ones when he left and passed on. Another situation that I know of that is not as fortunate is a young man who had a mother who did not have a policy. She did not take one out on herself, nor did he or any of his siblings think it necessary at the point to take one out for her. Well, she passed away. And on top of the grief that came along with her passing away, they had no income to bury her. They had no expenses set aside for burial for their mother. And as a result, he had to go around asking and soliciting help from anyone he could find to help with the burial expenses, even creating a GoFundMe. He had to do that. And all these things that were very, very burdensome on top of his grief, because there was not a policy in place. So it's very important to have these types of policies in place. These stories highlight the importance of considering life insurance in our financial planning. It's not just about us. It's not just about us. Many people take the attitude, well, I'm not going to worry about it because when I'm gone, I'm gone. I don't have to worry about these kind of things. Well, that's a very selfish attitude to have, because of the fact you are leaving behind people who depend upon your income possibly, or who would need to live, in the fact that you're gone, and so it's important that you tell your family you love them by setting up a life insurance policy to ensure that the living expenses are taken care of, bills are paid, debts were eliminated, so that they can live and carry on the legacy comfortably and not have to scramble. A lot of families have been displaced. A lot of families have been torn apart because no one took the time to set up a life insurance policy. That's one way you can build wealth and leave a legacy of wealth to your loved ones, is to have a policy, a life insurance policy in place, making sure that you're protected and also those who you love are protected as well. So life insurance is not just some unnecessary expense. Life insurance is a vital part of our financial plan. It's not just for older people, but it's for anyone at any age, no matter what your family's situation is. It benefits everyone. And it's not for just covering funeral expenses. It's also for covering living expenses, debt elimination, and other things that are necessary in the time of need. I want to thank you for watching this video, and I'd love to hear from you in the comment section, your input and your thoughts about life insurance. Do you have a policy? Or since you've heard this video, are you planning to get one? There's many companies that you can use, and you'll find one in the description that you can look at, Zander Insurance, where they can look through and guide you through, picking out a term policy that would work for you and for your family. I invite you to watch another video that I made where I talk about 3 reasons why we should save money. I believe that video will be a good video that would give you insight on the 3 reasons why we should save money. Also, if you're new to this channel, consider subscribing for more content on financial planning and money management. And I believe that if this content has been beneficial to you, you will find it necessary to share this video and channel with those that you know would benefit from what you've heard in this video. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next video.